You're not just dealing with property, you're dealing with people. You're dealing with their wants, their needs, their desires. And having someone with a well-rounded background, I just feel it fits in with that equation so well.
Welcome to the Buyers Agent Institute show. The purpose of the show is to bring awareness to buyers agents, to bring awareness around the career opportunities that the buyers agent sector is providing people, to bring awareness around the value that buyers agents are providing people who need help buying property. Our goal with the show is to strip back and dive into the remarkable stories and journeys of buyers agents who are paving the way forward in one of the fastest growing career sectors in real estate right now. Our guest today is Kitty Parker from Kitty Miles. She is not your average buyer's agent. She has a very broad range of skill and talent. She's been involved in startup businesses, one of the most recent ones where she grew a multinational corporate startup. She also has tertiary qualifications that is quite diverse, ranging from policy, ranging from strategic management and psychology. She is a single mother, and she brings a certain level of freshness, I believe, to the buyer's agent space. She's not just here to serve clients and buy property. She's here, I feel, to bring innovation into this sector. I'm really excited to introduce Kitty and dive into today. Welcome, Kitty.
Thank you so much. That was so nice what you said. Lovely to meet you. Thank you for having me here today.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And I remember I saw you online last year, end of last year, and I thought, this lady's going to crush it. She's bringing a new energy into this game.
Thank you. I do my best, yes.
Kitty Miles. So it's Kitty Parker. Kitty is for Catherine, short?
No, my first name is Christy Elizabeth, hyphenated, which is ridiculous. And I have a middle name as well. So I've been called Kitty for ages because Christy Elizabeth is way too long.
The name of the business?
Yes.
What's the Miles?
Miles is my youngest son. So he's 20, and there was a bit of a story behind Miles. But yeah, naming the company after my son is really that mother and son connection, which I guess
Flows through with being a single mom, etc. And it's, I guess, providing a bit of a stance out there as this is mum and son corporation.
You seem like you've entered this space with what I can see a different purpose. And I say that because I appreciate that you've got different skills, you've got different talents, and you're now, from what I'm seeing, integrating it now into the buyer's agent arena. What did you find and what did you see when you entered this space, even before you started? What did you see?
I guess as a starting point, being a single mum, living in Sydney, in the rental market, you really get a feel for how unaffordable housing is. So that was the catalyst for me maneuvering from my university qualifications and going down that path and thinking, I really need to come up with a game plan here to set up the future financial security for my family. That allowed me to diverge into business. It was a real survival instinct, and so I took that plunge into business. Realized I had a passion for that, I had a skill at that, let's just say nailed that. So that gave me the ability to begin, to delve into having an investment property portfolio. So it gave me the funds to buy property. While I was buying property, however, I engaged buyer's agents myself because I was very time poor as a businesswoman. And while their service was good, there were a few shortcomings. Let's just say the buyer's agents that I dealt with, there were some shortcomings. So wrapping this all up in the summary version is, it all culminated in me selling my last business and going, you know what? I understand property now. I know what people want from customer service, having dealt with buyer's agents myself and realizing, gee, I wish I'd done this or that. So now I try and give to my clients what I wanted given to myself. I also learned along the way, obviously stumbling through buying property for myself and utilizing buyer's agents, I came to understand the property market more and more. Having a background in data and statistics, I realized there's, crunching numbers in the property market was like an untapped passion. So that was great. And it all just culminated into me realizing this is a really natural progression for me. It really allows me to bring all my skills together and deliver for people in a way that I guess my psychology degree is about serving people. So this is like another version of that.
Yeah, and I respect that. I have seen that you've just got such a diverse level, I think, of skill and talent, and the way that you integrate it into this particular service, it fits really well. Like the psychology, we're dealing with people, it's communication, you've got a lot of experience with data and obviously business skills, which helps you, I guess, build the foundations of this new business. So this new business, it's based head office in Sydney, you're serving clients on a national level, correct?
That's correct. I'm based in Sydney, but I service not just Sydney and the New South Wales state. I'm actually licensed in multiple states. So I purchase for people across multiple states of Australia. So this usually means it's more often the case that people that are wanting to purchase investment properties interstate, say they may already have a Sydney-based investment property and they're wanting to diversify their portfolio, having someone they can meet in Sydney and chat to, and having someone that understands the interstate markets individually, I find clients that they see that as very helpful. So yes, I service Sydney, New South Wales and interstate. It's
awesome. Your business, we had an earlier conversation, you started in end of 2018 and it's grown very quickly. I mean, I'm not surprised. Did you, entering into this space, obviously it's very niche, did you expect it to move so quick? Like, did you have expectations or?
I certainly didn't have expectations it would snowball and skyrocket as much as it has done. I'm very thankful and feel very blessed that it has done so exceptionally well. When I've reviewed that and gone, gee, I've done so well in such a short period of time, I guess for me, honestly, that boils down to, I think it's the level of personalized customer service and customer care that I deliver. And as I say, I learned that myself based on what I had hoped to receive from buyer's agents. So I think that's very much the catalyst as to why my business has done well. It's what I do and the extent that I go to for my clients. I think it also is, in a humble way, my data analysis capabilities, and I'm very passionate about statistics and data. So my ability to interpret property market data is, in the nicest way, I guess, advanced. So I think the combination of being able to forecast well, accurately appraise properties, as well as just deliver a really down-to-earth, caring customer experience, I think those together have been the kind of secret ingredient in the sauce, so to speak.
Client experience. So you clearly are delivering, which should be the normal, like a first-class style of experience. It seems like you're connecting with them and you're taking it to a new level, which I think, I mean, you've got an American accent, so you're Australian, right?
I'm Australian birth.
You lived in the US?
Yes.
I mean, with my minimal experience in the US, I always feel like they understand service more than Australia. So it seems like in Australia, when you offer good service, it's like, oh, but it should be part of the norm. Like, what is it with your clients? Is it just you're communicating daily? Like, what is it you feel like that you're doing, which is really, I guess, enhancing that overall experience?
I think you're very correct in pointing out that I would say I have a very American customer service style, that it's from the point of initially chatting with a potential client right through to the little detail, the attention to detail in answering all their questions, preempting their questions, really trying to know when to assist a client at making an efficient decision and when to pull back, and actually knowing someone needs a little bit more support or a little bit more time to think about things. And I think I'm very honest. So if I feel someone maybe taking longer to make a decision or making a decision based on emotion when it should probably be more financially based, I'll really politely call them on it. And I'll say, hey, let's just open up this conversation and let's discuss this or this or this. And sometimes clients, I find they're just so appreciative that you're really actively listening and working with them. It's not a cookie cutter model. That you're really looking at that person as an individual and looking at their brief, looking at their needs, and also looking at their psychological reasons behind buying property. There have been so many clients, not so many, but I should say a handful of clients that I've halfway through went, hang on a minute, time out. Do you really even want to buy a property? And they've gone, what? And I'm like, why do you want to buy a property? And they've gone, well, we should. That's what we do. We're married, we should. And I'm like, hang on a minute. And we've discussed it, and they've actually walked away and gone, that is so refreshing. Yeah, we don't want to buy a property, we want to rent. And I think that's the difference, that you really need to know your client and really work with their best interests at heart.
I love that. I haven't heard that one before. And you don't strike me as the salesy type, more the consultative, as you said, the listening. You got two ears and you're there, you're operating with integrity. And I think that's quite rare in Australia for real estate. Unfortunately, there's parts of the real estate arena which has a bad reputation. And obviously your clients admire that. And it's obviously a testament to the way your business is growing, because you've grown a multiple six-figure business in a very short period of time. I'm curious to know, what do you see, just with your lens at the moment, what are the opportunities in the buyer's agent space that you're seeing?
There are huge opportunities in the buyer's agent space. I feel one of my mission statements for my business is I really want to change the way in which people buy property. And I think there is great potential in the buyer's agent space, and I think it is a really fantastic arena for people that come from other careers, either corporate careers or just other careers, and that they can bring that knowledge and that information and the gifts from many years in another career into this space. And I really think that counts for a lot in this arena. So, well, gone are the days where you need to have 30 years experience in the real estate industry to understand real estate. I feel that you can bring a really fresh and innovative energy, approach, and skills to this space, having come from a different career. Not saying experience is nothing, but I just think we can actually look at it differently and enhance on the buyer's agent space that we have now.
Music to my ears. And I think the innovation and the change that this space is going to have over the next number of years moving forward is going to be from people like yourself who have worked in different sectors, have a different brain, have a different approach, different freshness. They're going to help change this industry. It's not going to be the people who just know how to buy property. That's not difficult. The difficult part, I think, is the business aspect. And we're going to need more people who have done different things in different areas of business to come into this space and serve at a different level.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Talk to me around, where is the next move for Kitty Miles? Like, are you planning on just staying where you are at the moment? Are you looking to expand? Like, what's on the agenda for you?
At the moment, I'm looking to scale my business. It's done very well in a short space of time. I would love to scale my business to provide further reach, further service, assist more people, because as one person, I can assist this many people. But what I'm really hoping to achieve is that synergy between scaling and also keeping the boutique nature of my business. I don't want to become factory line. I don't want to become cookie cutter. And I don't want to sell out by scaling too quickly, too fast, too much, and actually lose the touch that I feel I bring my business that has made my business so successful. But my plan is to scale. I'm also writing a book at the moment on property, because I'm a little bit over the myth that millennials can't get into the property market. I assist a lot of millennials, not just to get into the property market, but to actually believe they can even get into the property market, because media seems to tell them that they're going to have to give up their Avo Smash if they have any hope of getting into property. And I'm like, no, you can keep your Avo Smash and we can get you into property as well. So I decided, I want to open up this space. I want to write a book to help the particular demographics that I feel real estate just, brushes under the carpet. People like millennials, people like single moms, people like the LGBTIQ community. The buyers in the space at the moment are not your typical mum and dad buyers. There's so many more people buying property, and I really want to do something to help these people get into the market, feel confident in the market, and know what they're doing. So ultimately, it boils down to, I really want to help create in property wealth creation for all, rather than just be kind of a minority that do well through greed per se. I want everyone to be able to own property.
I love how there is a focus though on the millennials, because I think there's a limitation for millennials who are growing up, who are looking at the paper, who are thinking, I can't get into this market, because the media is creating a narrative, creating a lot of fear. And it's amazing that you've got clients in that space who you're servicing, because they really do need help. A lot of them have never bought property before, and there's so much fear within them that there's probably a high probability they're going to make the wrong decision anyway.
Thank you. Yes, spot on. Couldn't agree more. I think that, there's so many millennials now that have the income to get into the property arena, but they just don't have the confidence, or they don't know where to start. And when you have the media constantly saying, you can't do it, you've missed the boat, it's not actually building the confidence in them to feel that, hey, I can do something. And if I can have a conversation with someone and they get sparked up and go, really, I can get into property? To me, more people need to know this. More millennials need to know this. The number of people that I've just started their journey, and the number of millennials I've started their journey into the property market, and this is helping set them up for life. And especially where we are at the moment in the property market with the whole COVID-19, I've been really going, come on, the market's a buyer's market. Let's roll up our sleeves and really get you into the market. There are so many different methods to get into the property market. It doesn't just have to be buy your home in Sydney. There are so many untapped methods that a lot of these millennials aren't aware of. So my book, I guess, is to help them, feel more confident, and also give them some tips of where to look and how to, jump in.
That's exciting. When's that coming out?
November this year.
Okay, beautiful.
So I'm finishing writing away, but yeah, it should be a pre-Christmas release, so a good one for the Christmas stocking.
Nice. Well, I want to talk about females, and specifically regarding the buyer's agent space. I'm a firm believer, just with my experience in this sector, that I feel like the buyer's agent space is I actually think it's more tailored towards females. The real estate side, on the sell side, I've never been a real estate agent, but I feel like that's very alpha male. I think it'd be quite tough for women, just from my perspective. But I genuinely believe that I think it's more tailored to females, is my honest opinion. So I love seeing people like you coming into this space, creating waves with, passion, with vision, with purpose, with intent. I love it. So what's been your experience jumping into this niche as a female, as an entrepreneur, and then dealing with real estate agents, running around? What have you noticed? I'm just curious.
I do feel that, generally speaking, the real estate industry is a very alpha male industry. Kudos to all the women in this industry that have battled, to find footing for themselves. So yes, I agree with that. It has had its tough moments. But I'm on a mission. I'm pretty unstoppable, so they can give me all they want and I'm not going to stop. But I also, second to that, I absolutely agree that I think the buyer's agent space is so about understanding clients' needs in more than just what property they want. It's understanding their fears, understanding their motivations, having empathy for their particular situations, and having emotional and social intelligence, being able to read the cues from people. And I don't want to gender stereotype, but I'm going to. I do feel naturally often women are more adept at the emotional aspect. And I feel that in a buyer's agent space, that fit is just so good. That's not to say that men can't bring something fantastic to the table. I feel the men that do really well in the buyer's agent space are really in tune with skills such as empathy and have a high level of emotional intelligence. And I feel they bring that, and that's of great virtue as well. But generally speaking, I feel more women definitely should get into this space. It's a great career for single mums. It's a great career for mums that may have had a corporate role but have taken time off to have children or that, and they want to get back to work but want something that will fit with their lifestyles. There are so many reasons why this space just fits well for women that want a balanced life.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And talking about the empathy and the EQ, and I so agree with that. Like when we sit in front of clients as buyer's agents, you've got to connect and really understand the person. And I think if you're just there for the sale and you're there just to, you're there at a surface level, you're not going to cut through. And I feel like this is a particular role where you really need to understand human beings. And like you said, if you feel like the client is not ready to buy even after you've engaged with them, you have that level of intelligence and EQ and everything just to actually call it out. And it's interesting to see where this space is going to go, the buyer's agent space. I do hope more women enter this space.
I do as well, absolutely.
I want to just revert back a bit in terms of bringing in the business experience into this. I started in the buyer's agent space where one would say, if you looked at my scorecard, you'd be like, man, this dude he may not get through this. I didn't have sales experience. I hadn't run a business, and I hadn't worked in a traditional real estate company. Okay? And so one might look at me and think, well, how's this guy going to succeed? He hasn't worked as a buyer's agent. He's never worked in sales. He's never run a business. And what I've learned along my journey is that being a buyer's agent is not just about buying property. It's not just about buying property. You need to understand human beings. You need to have systems and processes. You need to learn how to work with clients, how to deliver that incredible experience where they refer to you, how to scale if you want to scale. There's so many elements to it. And I feel like from what I see and what I hear and just that there's not a whole, I think, great appreciation for that in our sector. I just want to get your view.
Yep, spot on. Absolutely agree, Ben. I feel like we're on the same page. Absolutely agree. When you really think about it, someone buying a property, whether it's their first home, whether it's an investment property, whether it's their 10th property, they're putting into that property purchase a huge amount of funds. And when you actually connect the people with the person with that process, and you think they've worked hard to make this money, they've sacrificed to do this, when you really think of what the lead up is to someone coming to you looking to buy a property, there's so many emotions wrapped up, and there's so many stories wrapped up behind all that. It's not just about a property. As I say, it's the fears, the motivations, the history, the experiences behind that. And that you so need to build trust with your client. And it's not just trust that you can buy them a property. It's not that. It's trust that you have their best interests at heart. It's trust that you can call them out if you feel you need to, that you have that trust where the person will listen to your expertise and that you can go, I don't think this is a winner. I don't think we should, buy this. And it's very much, it's trust to me. It really boils down to trust, and it's relationship building. And we can even take the property, out of the equation. It boils down to, it's a big ticket purchase, probably the most money people will spend in their life, and they want to know that they can trust you. And I think that that's the key to differentiating an average buyer's agent or an average person in the real estate space and someone that is really good at what they do. It's less about experience, less about time in the industry. You're the marker of that, and it's what you bring to that relationship.
We'll probably have to do another session because there's so much to talk about. But before we wrap up, where's the best place for people to find you?
People can find me either on LinkedIn, Kitty Parker, my website, kittyandmiles.com.au. I also have Instagram, Kitty and Miles, Facebook, Kitty and Miles, any of the above. But in all of these social media outlets, you'll really get a feel for what I'm about, because it's not just about the buyer's agent and property stuff. I really give a lot of tips, advice, and very much me. I share a lot of me there.
Good on you. I mean, I'm inspired to see your journey. I always get inspired seeing single mothers get out there and kick ass. I love it. I love the energy you're bringing to this sector, and I'm going to be watching you.
Thanks, Ben. Thank you for having me today.
You.
Much appreciated.
Okay, that was an awesome discussion. I'm super excited to see the future of what Kitty and Miles is going to do. I really feel like you should and really should be watching Kitty Parker and her business, because I do think she's a definite standout in this space. With what she brings to the table, I feel is very, very unique. So if you're out there and you're looking to buy property on a national level, you're looking for a data nerd, you're looking for an incredible customer experience, reach out to Kitty. See you next week.